Welcome to Practical Talk. I'm Heather, a first-generation entrepreneur and founder of Holloway Media Services. My intention with this podcast is to teach entrepreneurs how to advance their careers with practical business advice. I'm talking about real actions you can take to grow any aspect of your business. The entrepreneurs on this podcast are not just telling you their stories, they're sharing their secrets to success, and it starts right now. If you're enjoying this topic at any moment, please share the episode with your network. Post it on social and tag us. And if you haven't yet, go subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. Thank you. Joining me today on the conversation is Arika Clark. She is CEO of Thrive Epic. And Arika co-creates with coaches and consultants to systemize their growth by developing learning and training programs so they can have a greater impact while working less. When Arika's not coaching, you can catch her on her bi-weekly online talk show called Conversations Unleashed, where business owners who want to get clarity on their future step into their confidence and grow their business. Arika, thank you so much for joining me today on a topic that I am so eagerly awaiting a response to, and that is course creation. So thanks so much for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm super excited. I've been waiting to chat with you and excited for what this conversation brings.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, from the moment that, on our first conversation, just your smile alone, I'm like, yes, I want to be in this girl's ecosystem because, man, you're doing the thing. You are out there helping folks create this source of revenue by systemizing and, repeating your message and putting that into a way that you can be paid for it.
Yeah. And not only that, but it's about freeing up time. I think time is one of our most precious commodities at the moment. And I feel like I can speak for a lot of people in saying that, at least my clients. And it's just allowing for business owners to really be able to free up some of their time is important.
Yeah, absolutely. Time is our greatest commodity. And you're right. To be able to free up and make more space for the things that we want to do is lovely. And be inspired to use that time that we just freed up to go and do the things that we love to do. So course creation. Okay, let's get into it. Before that, we get into the juicy bits on how we should be doing the things. How did you get started with Thrive Epic?
Yeah, it's been an interesting journey. I've actually owned a business for the last 21 years.
Wow.
Spent 16 years in one industry and then was like, I'm burnt out. I'm not loving my job. I'm waking up every day dreading going to work, even though I'm working for myself. It happens.
Wait, can you repeat that? Because I think entrepreneurs need to hear that.
Which part? If you're not happy doing what you're doing, even if you own your business, look for something else. There is too much out there. The funny part, Heather, is people would ask me at the time, just randomly, I was going in my daughter's school and be like, hey, Arika, how are you? And I'd be like, ugh. I would be like, yes, no, happy, fine, sad. I would just groan. And one day I was like, I can't, groaning is not an answer. And that was the moment I knew I had to do something different.
Yeah. From groaning to growing. So at 16 years, you're like, nah, we need to pivot. So how did we pivot? How did you do that?
I ended up getting into coaching and got all kinds of certifications and credentials and just dove into the coaching world. And then COVID hit and I lost all my contracts. I lost everything and sort of a blessing in disguise. But when COVID hit, a lot of people started coming to me because in previous to COVID had developed a lot of programs and run a lot of online stuff. And I have a graduate degree in adult education. So they started coming to me saying, Arika, how do I get these programs online? How do I start transitioning this stuff? And what do I do to make it better? And I started helping people just sort of naturally through that process. And then it was like, this is great. And I'm loving it. And I feel like I'm actually able to have more of an impact. And so I just went all in. So I actually did sort of two little pivots within a couple short years.
And wow, the market opened up for you. And that opportunity was bloop, placed in sort of in your lap, and you were sort of an overnight success, except for you've been training for this moment.
Yeah.
For however long.
Yeah. I was like, it didn't really happen overnight, but it kind of did happen overnight. But yeah, it's like been sort of a journey and it's been amazing. I feel very blessed and very lucky, even when that moment when you're like, what just happened when COVID hit?
Yeah, right. And would you say, in your opinion, is that the point where e-learning took off, or has this been a slow burn where e-learning has been a thing, though maybe we all haven't caught on to it yet?
Well, I'm super glad you asked, because I personally feel like it's been a slow burn and it's been picking up and it was doing really well. So in 2018, it was a $165 billion industry. So the best that they could measure it. And they expected by 2022 that it would be at 275 billion. But the moment COVID hit, it skyrocketed. So like it just took off. And even during COVID, I was like, wait, everyone needs a piece of this. This is the moment to get in, because now they've looked at it and they said, basically, I'm going to back up, but a couple of years ago, we already passed that 270. We already passed that number.
Oh my gosh.
275 number. And it's not even 2022. And by 2026, they expect it to be almost 500 billion. I think it's like 457 billion. So it's like doubling in just a couple years.
So what I'm hearing is, I need to put something up online that people can purchase. Are we talking evergreen? We can get into the nitty gritty here. Are we talking evergreen? Are we talking like multiple courses? Like, what are we doing here? Like, I'm so excited.
And you're like, I'm all in. I'm jumping in right now. I'm so excited. Yeah. I mean, this is it. There's a lot of different options. And I think that when you start exploring this, people are going to be like, just put together any course. I just like back up and like, whoa, don't do that. Don't just throw something together to throw something together, but what's going to work for you and your business model, the people that you want to attract. So it might be a course that just sort of for clients who maybe can't afford your one-on-one services, it's something that they can take. So you have this ability to downsell something or to be able to put something out. It might just be sort of something that people can go through just to get some exposure to know who you are. So by the time they're done with it, they're like, I'm all in. Whatever Heather says, I am buying. Yes. So there's a lot of different options in the way you can use courses. You can enhance your packages. So it depends on your business model is what I would say for that one.
I love that. And, I have a marketing background. I own a, social media marketing agency. So for me, thinking about marketing and funnel, right? Like you can use your courses at every level of the funnel. So, an attraction course to attract your audience. What are some courses or something that's, somebody could put up online?
I would definitely say any kind of sort of mini where they can just get a taste of what it's like to know you, to work with you, to kind of see your style. A perfect example is I ended up taking a course one time where they sort of taught me how to create a little bit of my own content, because I was like, what am I supposed to do on social media? I wasn't ready to invest in a company, but I was like, well, I just need to learn a little bit. It was a mini course. It took me like 45 minutes to go through it. It was so good that I, by the end of the night, purchased 4 more of their courses because I was like, whoa, they gave me really great, valuable information. I bought another and ended up working with that company.
Oh, neat.
And so, it's just very interesting because they hooked me in with like, here's a little bit of how you can do it yourself. But there was still that like, I can do this, but this isn't fun. Yeah, and I'm all about staying in fun.
Yes, me too. I love that. That's fun first and everything comes after that. So are we charging at that point for our courses, or these are free when we're doing like awareness?
You can do either. So sometimes we'll say that it could be good to do a low ticket. It also like test people. Are they willing to buy to be able to get in? But there's no rules. That's the beauty. And again, what works for your business model. And what I always tell people is like, create from your vision. So, it's not about like just setting up a goal, like, okay, I just want more clients, but like, what is your big vision and how does that support that? And so it might be spreading awareness and your community. It might be free. It might be a low ticket offer. And you might just be like, I'm coming in and it's a high ticket course. And that's okay too.
Are we supposed to be recording these and putting these up, or are we doing these live? Like what would be the best there?
Yeah. Again, I feel like everything I'm going to say today is like, it depends on your
No, I love that. Yeah.
And I want to emphasize it because so many people will go to people and they're like, oh, you just throw together this course and that's it. And it doesn't always work for people, which is why I say you really have to look and build with intent. So the courses can be either you can run it live. What I suggest sometimes is running them live the first time, or maybe the second time, 2 times, 3 times, and then recording it all and putting it in there. That way it gives you time to sort of adapt to your audience and adjust. But the other side of the spectrum is sometimes it's easier just to record and put it out there and go with that, and then make adjustments as people start going through it and you get feedback and you can make any adjustments there. So again, it really depends on your style and comfort level.
Yeah, I was just going to say your style too. So like, I know with social media that we need to be producing videos and you need that constant content production. And though I love to get in front of the microphone, I found that, sitting there and reading off of a script about whatever I'm teaching sort of wasn't my jam, but doing this, I light up. The energy is there. I don't mind spending my energy on this task. So, as you're creating your course online, you might have to try a couple different styles. What's your favorite style?
For sure. I'm like a wing it kind of person.
I know you do a lot of videos though. Like I see you active on social and yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and the more I try to like script something out and put it up when I record, sometimes I feel like I sound like a robot. And and I tell my clients, it just takes practice really sounding fluid. So oftentimes I'll sort of cheat and I bullet point method. So it's like, what are the highlights of what I want to hit in an order? Because I get to talking and then forget what I was going to say. Yeah. So I have my bullet point list, but I pretty much like to wing it. And this is what I want to say is it's about imperfect action is okay. You are a human being on the other side of that camera. And if it's so polished that it looks
robotic,
professional, but it looks robotic and it looks like people can't really relate and attach to you on the other side of the camera. How are they going to like hold their interest to be able to get through what it is? So I think that sometimes when you can just wing it or at least wing parts of it or just add that pizzazz and flair in it, people are there. I've taken a course by one individual and their whiteboard fell over in the middle of it. And instead of cutting it out post-production, they like talked through it and laughed and then set it up and went. And you're like, I'm in because I want to see what else is going to happen. But it made it relatable and it is very memorable. And I will never forget that training. So it doesn't have to be perfect. If you say a couple extra ums and ahs, if you're like, sometimes my dog barks all the time, but it's like, there's a balance in it. And I feel like I just want to tell people like, there's no such thing as perfect. And let it go.
Be you. Don't take yourself so seriously. It's part of the human experience. So we experience whoopses all the time, whether it's a whiteboard falling behind you or stubbing your toe or whatever it is, it happens. So roll with it. That would probably be one of the best things to learn is how to roll with it.
The thing about being on podcasts, I know this is totally like a side thing, but
I love it.
That I want to dance when we're on here. I want to like roll with it and dance. So like to the podcast audience, like at this moment, Heather's talking, I just want to like dance.
Yeah.
Rolling.
I love it. Hey, why is it so important to add learning opportunities to your business? Why is this so important?
I would say there's like 3 different ways that make it better. And so first of all is it frees you up in your business. So if there's things that you're saying over and over again that you can, sort of put them.
Hallelujah. Can we please? I know if you're listening to this as a podcast, but I'm raising my hand. I'm giving it up because look, as a first generation entrepreneur, not knowing what I don't know, you know what I mean? Nobody has come before us. I'm learning this as I go. I've repeated the same message over and over again. And I'm like, wait, if I can copy and paste an email, why wouldn't I copy and paste a message on video, which is the best media to have? Sorry, I cut you off. Keep going.
No, it's good. I'm like, preach, go. But that's it. So it frees you up to be the CEO in your business. So whether you want to be able to work more with one-on-one clients or whether you want to be able to take more vacations, whatever that is, it gives you more time back where you're still able to earn revenue during that time. The second one is it gives you passive, or I'll say even active income. So meaning passive income, you have a course, it's running on autopilot, it's going, people can sign up at their leisure, you're just collecting revenue, but there's also an opportunity to be able to bundle up your course with some of your other offerings. So especially for coaches out there who are doing one-on-one, there's opportunities for them to be able to create courses or training programs that are a little bit more active. So they're involved in it, but it allows them to serve more people at once. And then the third reason that learning opportunities are so important is about the client experience, which I actually think is one of the most powerful parts of this.
Yeah. Well, and that's a direct impact on your income. If you get a great client experience, you're going to tell other people. So yeah.
Yeah. The client experience. I mean, it's like the moment they sign up with you, they're excited to work. And if it's like, oh, a week before they get on a call, I mean, there's opportunity in there that they could be doing something to sort of capitalize on their momentum. Or it's like when they're working with you and sort of you're in between your sessions or what you're doing, there's still opportunity for them to learn and to be impacted. Or is there opportunity on the back end of when they get to, the end and they just need some extra resources that you are good at? I imagine with your company, you have a lot of things that you could teach your clients that would be good for them to learn that you don't necessarily like bundle together in your packages. They're just sort of one-off, but it's like, how can you enhance their whole experience? So they're like, Heather, or, whoever's listening to this, it's like, you are the go-to person because you have these areas for them to be able to get information.
Man, this is so good. I'm thinking to myself, like, holy smokes, I need this right now because there are holes there, like you said, that you can fill with this thing that, yeah, it's going to require work on the front end, but freedom is at the end of that, right? Yeah. Streamlining. And I think that that's probably one of the biggest lessons that I had to learn is streamlining and one of the biggest mistakes. What are other common mistakes that people make not knowing that this is a viable option for them? People might not even think that they could be a course creator.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of opportunities in being able to put it in. I think we have this preconceived notion of what we think courses mean.
Yeah.
But that's why I say like learning opportunities, because there's opportunities for people to learn in all different ways. So I think some of the biggest mistakes is like, if you're saying the same thing over and over and over to all of your clients, it's time to automate some of that in some ways. And, there's also if you're running at capacity, I know a lot of people are serving sort of one-to-one or, and there's only so many hours in a day. I hate to use the 40-hour work week because I think that's just some number we arbitrarily made up.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
But for simplicity's sake, there's 40 hours a week. And if you're like, okay, I have, 20 clients that I'm working with all for a couple hours a week, you're already over your 40, So I think that like, if you're starting to run at capacity or realize you're working like nights and weekends and you don't want to, there's some opportunity for how do you automate some of that to run, like be able to run groups through it or to be able to just lessen the load.
So many aha moments. And we've been talking for like 10 minutes. Like I can't even right now. So listen, if you're struggling out there, if you need to find more time, if you need to automate that thing, courses are the way. Now, what if I'm scared to be on camera? Erika, what do I do?
Yes. I'm going to say it's okay.
You're not alone. It's the number one fear.
If you're working with me, I'm going to just gently like guide you through that process because we have a process to make it easy so it's not so intimidating. But I understand that some people, it's not your thing and that's okay. And not every course has to be all video. There's also opportunity to be able to hire out somebody to read off your scripts, to be able to do some of those things. There's opportunity to be able to do audio parts of, your course. There's opportunity to be able to do more visual stuff, but there's also ways of being able to sort of record even when you're super nervous about it, because people want to see you. I think a lot of, I know a lot of your audience are also like entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and we are the face of our business. So it's really important, I think, to be able to show yourself as well. So even if you don't have a lot of video, people do want to see you because they're buying into you and your brand.
And be confident. Own that space. This is your business. Like, let us not be scared. You have to talk to people to sell your business, to promote your business. This really is no different, except for it's a camera looking at you instead of a human looking at you. But you need to pour that same sort of energy into it. And it's not that scary. Just look at that camera and act as if it's an eye or a human and not, but maybe you get really nervous talking to people too. So maybe it's mindset that we need to talk about. Do you lead people through mindset when you coach?
I do. Because of my coach credentialing that I do. So I'm able to be able to help people build up their confidence while they're doing it. I mean, my whole thing is I want people to have a course that they are so proud of that they want to go yell from the rooftops. Like, I have this course, I want it to be able to be something that is built from their, mission, their vision, their values. And it's something that they're ready to share. It's not just like, I just threw something together because I want clients, and that's okay too. And, but really when I work with my clients, we go on a deeper level to be able to pull all of that out and to be able to like let it shine.
Yeah.
Can I back up and say one more thing about the recording?
Yeah.
So the other thing is, and I feel like you might have experience with this with your clients and what you do, but like, sometimes it's not the recording part. It's when they have to go back and listen to themselves.
Oh,
and
okay.
so I think that sometimes if you like, you're like, I can record, but then when you have to go back, you start getting all judgy and stuff in it. It's like, if you can take that and send it to someone. To have someone else do the editing and give you back. Yes, send it to Heather. Heather is all the editing.
Thanks for the plug.
You get back this like beautiful video that you didn't have to listen to sort of those awkward moments that could be edited out. It helps ease the process. So I just want to give that like tip out there for people who are really nervous. Just don't watch it and have somebody else do some of the edits.
Yeah. Outsourcing that is amazing. We outsource the podcast production. Yeah. We're a content creation facility. We're experts in video, and you'd think, oh, you should be experts in audio, but it's a totally different game. Audio production is totally different than video production. Anyways, point being is, although I'm comfortable on camera and I don't mind hearing my voice, I was still a little nervous, but to have a professional polish it up and then listen to it back, it's like, oh, wait, that's me. It's really neat. It's really neat. And that instills confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get the pros to help you out. Now, we talked a lot about one-on-one solopreneurs, entrepreneurs, but what if a coach or consultant only works with companies? Can courses help those folks?
Oh, that's a great question. Yes. And I want to say yes, 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 yes. So there's a really good opportunity for coaches to be able to, if you have, I'm going to say if you already have training done, if you don't, you can make some too. But if you already, a lot of coaches, a lot of people who are working with businesses already have content that trainings and things that they've done. You can take that and bundle it together and be able to sell it to a company to be like, hey, I can sell seats into this thing. So your clients can come in and access these programs. So you're selling it as this sort of resource library to them, or this, package, or you're able to package it also with your services to that company. Like, hey, I have these trainings on demand that you can access. So, or if they can't maybe pay for your full services, and I know a lot of companies are, not always able financially to be able to pay for people. Sometimes you can downsell them. Well, then I have this training that I could offer and sell seats into. So there's some really, really great opportunities for being able to bundle. And that's that sort of active and passive. It just depends on how it comes in, but ways to be able to enhance their offerings so that maybe companies are like, well, you have these two people, but you have this one that has extra resources. We want to go with them.
Yeah. Dang. I love that. I love that so much. Wow. There really is just a ton of opportunity for courses. And even though there are a ton of courses out there, your message is still important. People still need to hear you, business owner, and what you have to provide. And it'll free up a lot of time. And again, it's another passive way of increasing your revenue and not leaving money on the table. There are so many positive reasons to do the course. Let's be realistic. How long? I mean, this is again going to be based on your business model. But if we're just getting into course creation, how long should maybe our first one be? Or, what's the goal we should go after?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It is a tough one. It's like, where is it put? What is it? What do you do? Is it just, if it's like a client attraction, I'm going to say do something small, like, that your client could go through in less than an hour. It wouldn't take long. But if you're doing, if this is your signature program, it might be something that takes somebody, a month to 6 months to go through. But if it's your first time, building a course that it takes somebody a week or two to go through is great. I mean, there's not really a right answer on that, but I would not build, unless you're building it with someone like, I'm going to say with someone like me, I wouldn't build out like a 6 month or year long program. I would stick to it's something that it takes somebody a couple hours or a couple, 2 or 3 weeks to go through. And that would be it.
Yeah, there was a trend, I think it was last year, maybe over the summer, all these challenges. Take my 6-day challenge. Is that the same as a course?
Not really. Usually those are for client attraction. So, but there might be parts that are in a bigger course. It's a lot of those at the end will upsell into a full course. But in those challenges, you're usually learning just a little bit of something, but kind of similar thing. You could take almost what you do in a challenge and just say, hey, here's a little piece of something. Here's a mini type course and throw it in there. Like, again, we label the word course and it's, again, taking your teaching, taking your expertise, packaging it up and sharing it with someone, and whatever that looks like. It doesn't have to be a formal course per se, but it can be like, hey, I'm going to put this out to you.
Yeah. And by the way, don't force yourself into talking about something because, like, oh, I want to do a course. I need to get it out. I know a mistake that I often make is trying to be somebody other than myself. And so I can only teach what I've been through, what I've experienced.
Yeah.
Like I shouldn't be out there talking about, I don't know, any other topic than marketing right now. You know what I mean? Like I can teach marketing because I've done it. I've lived it. I breathe it. And I have for the past, oh my goodness, I've been in marketing since my early 20s. I first started in radio. So, there's a lot of stuff that I could think about and talk about. When you work with your clients and they first come on board and they're like, hey, I want to do a course. You're like, but is that you? Is that really what you want to talk about? Do you ever have those moments?
Oh yeah. And it's interesting because sometimes people try to put too much into that. I'm like, whoa, what are we focusing on? Because they want to put it's, like there's so much passion. You're just like, I do want to talk about these topics. And so it's like narrowing that down to just that one thing that's going to be very impactful. Yeah. And I would say the other thing that it came up when you were talking that made me think is sometimes people compare themselves to others. Yeah. So then they feel the need to like, I got to talk about all these things because someone in my industry also talks about those things or does that. And there's a lot of comparison that can happen.
Oh yeah.
So I have a story about Tony Robbins and Dean Grazzi, his last name I can't ever say. And so they came out with a whole like course creation program a year or so ago, I think. And when he came out, there was that moment inside of me that I was like, oh, I'm done.
That's it. Your business is over. That's it.
I'm
the Titans of the industry did it. You can't do it. Please go. I'm so interested. I'm getting my popcorn. Please go on.
And I was just like, there was that moment I did feel a little bit defeated. And I was like, great, what am I going to talk about? How, Tony does all this coaching stuff. Like I came from the coaching world. Tony came from the coaching world. Tony's doing courses. I'm in the coach world. Like, it's like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, how am I going to beat this out? And it wasn't long that I sat on this. And then I was like, you know what? I have my own way of offering things and not everybody relates to him. That's going to relate to me. First of all, I'm a bald Black woman.
and beautiful. Come on.
Thank you. But aside from that, it's just like, I have a different way of talking. I have a different audience that I attract. And so I just want people to know that. And I feel like if you take nothing else away, that like you have your own secret sauce, you have your own special something. And when you start, you see it in your business, but when you're doing things, when you start creating a course, you're gonna be like, but everybody has a course on this. And probably it's true, but that's great because it means your course is probably very valid and people want it. But the other thing is that people won't resonate with all those other people. They're going to resonate with what you have to say, how you have to say it, your style, your vibe, your energy. Yeah. And so you just bring it to your people and the way your people need it. And I think that's the thing. So it's more about like, don't compare yourself to others and then just, keep your topic in your zone and be good at what you do and just allow yourself to like shine and just be.
Yep. Honor yourself through that. Yeah. Because this is your product. This is your baby. And unless you're talking about your essence, it's going to be that robotic, inauthentic deal. And myself on my personal journey, I've been working a lot on that. And again, it comes back to mindset. It comes back to, your origin story. What are your values? It helps with imposter syndrome, because your message is valid and the world needs you. There is, just like you said, thousands, millions. How many people do you need to be successful? Do you need 50 clients that pay you $2,000 a month each? That's pretty good. I would take that, you have to be realistic. You don't need to be Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins needs to be Tony Robbins. He needs millions and millions and millions of viewers to keep him at the level that he wants to be at. But realistically, for entrepreneurs like myself, 100 clients would be great. 50 clients would be, you know what I'm saying? So be realistic too with what you're trying to accomplish. I get caught up in I need to be famous. I need my name to be known. No, I need to make an impact. I need to help somebody. I need to support somebody. And if that means it's 20 people, 1,000 people, maybe one day 100,000 people, who knows? That's cool.
Yeah. I have that as part of my mission statement is I really want to directly impact 1 million people. And then when I wrote it because I was like, I want to impact 1 million people. And I was like, well, that's not big enough. But I was like, okay, directly, which then feels a little bit different as opposed to just 1 million. 1 million feels, and then I was like, is that big enough?
Ooh.
Like I got hung up in it and I was like, I don't know if that's big enough for me. I'm like, cause I just want to be able to help people. I want to be able to have an impact in people that can then have a bigger impact. So it's like that ripple effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I teach you how to make a course and now all of a sudden your course helps all of these 50 people, 100 people, 10,000 people, whatever that looks like in these courses, and it's like, I don't know, it's such a driver for me to be able to like impact.
I love that so much. So what can people expect if they want to do a course creation? And they're like, I don't want to watch a course to make a course. I want to work with Arika. What can they expect when they work with you?
A lot of one-on-one attention. I'm just super high touch. I just believe in like, I'm there with people on the journey. I know, I'm just like full transparency. Like Heather and I had this scheduled a while back and, I was like, Heather, I got a client thing that came up and it's like really important to me to be there for my clients. And I pride myself on that. It was a really tough decision in things, but it's like, I am there. So I think just being there for my clients and, helping them have the confidence to build out something that they can be super proud of and that can help sort of leave a legacy in there for their business. They can build their business to a point that it's something spectacular for them.
And I got to tell you, y'all listening to this, if you have not picked up on her energy and if you have not picked up on her care for you, like, please go seek her out because I feel so comfortable with you. And I do feel like you have me. I feel like you have your people, like you just ooze that. And so when I'm ready for this course, New Year is approaching and opportunities abound. So Arika, we're going to be working together for sure.
Yeah. You're already on my list. Cause I was like, I need Heather to take care of some stuff.
Same. And I need you to help me take care of some stuff too. And that's guys also too. If you haven't gotten a coach yet, get a dang coach, cause coaches change lives. They do, just plain and simple. Did we miss anything? Is there anything anything else that we need to impart on our public?
I don't know. I'm like so excited. I don't know. I just want people to try, if it's for their business model, obviously, but it's like, I just want them to just be happy in what they're doing and not have to like be working 24/7 in their business and to be able to just like free up and have something that they're proud of. And I would say the only other thing I want to leave is it's okay. Imperfect action. Your first course might not be exactly what you think it was going to look like. And it's okay. People are going to go through it. You're going to get some feedback and you're going to make tweaks and it's going to be better, but it takes you starting. And so it's just want to say, just start, brainstorm some ideas of things that, would help your clients and would help you.
Invest in yourself, invest back into your business and do that with Arika. Make sure to get on to thriveepic.com. You can find Thrive Epic on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. You can find Arika on LinkedIn as well. Also, all of the contact information is going to be in the show notes. Arika, this has been a true pleasure. And I'm going to tell you that the energy that you just gave me, I'll be able to use for a week, a month.
Yes. I can't wait to see what you do. I mean, I know you and I are going to like stay connected and stuff, but I'm super excited. I'm super honored that you had me here. And I hope your audience was able to gain some insights that are going to be able to help them just take off in their business.
Yeah, I guarantee they have. Absolutely. Thriveepic.com. Don't miss out. Arika, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm Heather Holloway, and you've been listening to Practical Talk. Thank you so much for joining our conversation. Check the show notes for resources from our guests and links to other episodes. New episodes are released every Wednesday.